Building a new home on your own land, what you need to know. Hello friends, before deciding to build a home on your own land, please take my advice on how to choose a home builder to help ensure you don't overlook anything critical. Building a new home on your own land can be one of the most satisfying experiences of your life as long as you are prepared. There are a lot of variables to consider and you will need the help of home building professionals to ensure you don't overlook the important details before breaking ground. Hire a home builder early in the process. Our biggest piece of advice for anyone who wants to build on their own lot is to consult a builder before buying land. Choosing to involve your builder early on in your decision making has the potential to save you time and a lot of money in the long run. Your home builder will not only help you determine the best placement of the home, but also whether or not you should build on that particular land at all. You see, it's easy to get swept up in the vision of your future home on an attractive piece of land, but there is always a chance there are problems you don't see right away. More on that a little later. Choosing a build on your land home builder. There is a lot of work that goes into choosing a trustworthy home builder, especially when you want to build on your own land. You need to look for a local team with visible experience in build on your land projects. These teams are more likely to keep your build on budget as well as bring a critical understanding of zoning laws, restrictions, and easements. Hiring locally is especially important if you are planning to build in a rural area where the rules are more than likely different than in city. What to look for in a builder? Experience. Do they do a lot of build on your own land projects? Take time to ask for a reference or two and talk to them about their experiences. Floor plans. If you are going to purchase your own land first, it might be in your best interest financially to work with your builder to choose a floor plan they have done before or customize any of their existing designs. The important thing to look for is option. Do they have them and are they flexible in delivering what you want? Purchasing power. A home builder with good connections is more likely to get you a competitive price on building materials, especially if you are using one of their floor plans. Starting with the initial inspection of your land, your builder should be transparent and upfront about all the things that will have to happen before construction on your home begins. Things like removing earth, bringing dirt in, building a driveway, or special foundation work should be discussed and factored into your project's overall budget. Knowing the cost upfront will save you money on unforeseen project additions. This leads us to one more point to consider before contacting a builder, knowing your budget before you call. How do you estimate your budget when building your own house? There are many things that go into deciding a specific budget for your new home. Here are few things most home buyers need to know before a realistic budget can be set. If you decide to use a lender for the home, they might tell you to expect to pay 15% to 20% more than you initially think. As you make countless design and style decisions, things will undoubtedly be forgotten, and this padding is there to prevent you from stressing in the future. Also, you might completely change your mind about material preference halfway through the build. For example, do you want landscaping? What about bathroom tiling? Choosing a piece of land to build your home. Most of the time you either inherit a piece of land or choose to work with a realtor to buy one. Whichever scenario, we suggest involving your home builder of choice before diving into planning a home. So now that you know what you can spend, how do you calculate how much land you need for your house? For many home buyers, it typically becomes more of a preference than a calculation. For example, while you will need to consider property lines, you will most likely be thinking about how much grass you want to mow and maybe even about the potential for play sets or pool placement sometime in the future. While the house is being constructed, where will you live? This is simultaneously a lifestyle and budget concern. Depending on the length of time it takes to build the home, Your options may vary and you will need a plan. Will you sell your current home and live in an apartment complex for a few months during the construction process? Will you wait to sell until you have moved into your new dream home? These are all situations that should be considered. What licenses and permits do you need to build a house on your own land? This completely depends on how you choose to build your home. But regardless, you could face some pretty serious penalties if you build without a permit. You might even have to take down and rebuild in a way that satisfies legal requirements. If you build through a contractor, they will assume legal responsibility. These home builders should be very familiar with the local building codes. From paperwork to talking with the building department, they will ensure the home they are building is within code. If you are building your own home, it's entirely up to you to own the entirety of the job. Understand that if you build this home yourself, you are losing the legal protection that many of these home builders provide within the purchase price of the home. From there, you will want to start considering groundwork items like utility and sewage hookup. It can get complicated fast, and while builders don't usually have to involve a civil engineer when they work with clients, it can happen. So be prepared. But why do I need to follow building codes? Simply put, it just builds and establishes a home that has been future-proofed and treated with the guidelines of health and safety will be a home that can be used by anyone. For example, electrical work needs to be up to snuff so that there are not any eventual fires. Most importantly, homes are harder to sell when they don't meet any kind of code. How do you get a certified copy of a proposed zoning map or zoning text amendment? You can submit a request to your local government either through a website or a phone call to secure a certified copy of a local zoning map. Preparing for unforeseen costs. Some of those basic considerations like utilities and sewage are less complicated in urban areas. But regardless of where your land is, there are a few things you might not expect, like cost of lot prep. This includes everything from necessary tree removal to moving earth in and out of your lot. Cost of driveways. You had be surprised how often people forget to factor this in, but you are probably going to need a driveway. Cost of energy efficient building materials, not to mention the long-term savings. Cost of hooking up utilities, gas, electric and water will more than likely need to be routed to your new lot. Water flow. Does your lot have one or more slopes? How does water move about the property? Unseen ground conditions. This is one of the biggest reasons to involve a builder as soon as you can, because the average person might not be able to tell what's going on below the sod. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For getting more useful and interesting information, subscribe to the Engineer Ajay Lord's channel, How to Make Home.